Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all, but who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop till like 6 in the morning. Come break it down.
Hey,
Higher.
right there?
Hi.
Or even louder?
That's fine.
You sure?
Are you ready? You done coughing?
Check.
No.
No.
I can cycle.
He said no.
Of course he did.
So common. That Ricola didn't help him. He's in that Riculo. He got sick from eating the Riculo. Now he has the
Daniel,
Ricola.
You have a Ricola or a Riculo?
Whatever.
He said with a cough drop. What's up? Welcome,
bro. What
everybody.
happened, bro?
We back.
We're back. Good to see you. Good to see you, bro.
Daniel, you ready, Daniel? You good?
Good to see you. Oh,
You good over
yeah,
there?
I'm good. Yeah. What's up? I'm good. I'm chilling.
What's up?
I'm feeling
What's
real
up with
good.
you?
It's Sunday.
Puro chilling.
I'm chilling.
That's right.
I'm fucking stoned. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
tell.
Sundays.
It's good to be stoned.
Sundays
That's
also.
That's good. Huh?
Also, I got all my work. I was really nervous about certain projects and all that stuff because it's been a fucking hueva, but I finally was able to get all my results down for my project, and what seemed like fucking eternity is already coming to an end. So I'm done, and I'm trying to get all my big projects finished early so that I can have at least 3 weeks of school to do nothing, take advantage. Because it's been a lot of work. That project is pretty big, and it's a lot of information that I have to get, and more than anything, it's a lot of
That was that
research,
survey,
dude.
right?
And also I need to
Oh,
I for the whole semester you have to have read different studies from different people, so it's a lot of information to do and to sift through, and if you're not into reading, then what this whole semester told me is that if you're not into reading, it's probably going to be difficult to get past a bachelor's, because you got to do a lot of fucking reading, for studies and stuff.
yeah.
Because
Did
you
you
have to
finally
know
get
what
the
other
damn
people are
results?
doing. Yeah. I got the end results. I thought it was going to be that with more social media use, there's going to be more anxiety, but with more social media use, you have less anxiety.
Shit, it went the other way?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
But so now I have to talk about my results, and these are the only people that now there might be a certain variables, which is that everybody's Mexican American for the most part. We live in a border region, so it's really specific, and these kinds of tests have not been tested in a border region. So that's
what do you feel
something
that
to talk
is, though?
about.
What do you feel those results came out the way it is?
First off, I think that a lot of people find comfort in social media. So I think that and also I think that people, part of it is that people are dishonest. People are dishonest, and people don't really want to come to terms with how much they use social media because it doesn't look good right in paper. And that's another variable, is that I'm coming up to these people and I'm kind of telling them like, hey, fill out this survey, and socially I'm not giving them a choice, kind of, because I'm there and I'm telling them to. I'm looking at them in the eye and stuff. So they might feel obliged to say yes, but are they going to tell me the truth? I don't know. So it could mean that, that's another variable. But also people find comfort in social media, and people have built a reality along these things, and they'd rather live in that reality. And it's like it's its own matrix that keeps people safe, And so
But you're
I
not
think
using
that
their names or anything, right?
no. But I'm just saying, like, those are some of the
Why would I lie?
those are some of the things.
Yeah.
But people are weird. Not everybody thinks the same way as you. That's something that you also have to consider in these kinds of sciences, is that not one person is the same, and not one person is gonna think alike. Like maybe to you, that's also another bias. A bias that you think that people are gonna think the way that you think just because you think that way. That's not true. Everybody has their own distinct way of thinking, and some people might really take pride as an issue. Like, damn, I can't even. Some people really prefer to lie to themselves so that in order they feel good, so that they fit their lie in their own head. Because people have a certain belief of who they are, but that's not really who they are. That's just their belief on who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I
people,
think
you
you
don't want to feel
probably
guilty. You don't want to feel guilty all the time. Like, let's say you did something bad. I mean, the brain is gonna be like, well, you're not that bad. There's a lot of other things. But for some people, I don't know. It's a bunch of fucking mumbo jumbo. But I do think that people find comfort in social media, so that might also be another reason why people feel less anxious. So it's like more of a response to their anxiety. So, like, I don't know if you noticed, there's this term when I was researching, there's this term that I came across of that got popular in the 2010s, which was fubbing. The term fubbing was to avoid social interaction by looking at your phone, and it's something that a lot of people do. So I think that could be another
mm-hmm.
like that could be another reason why the results came out the way that they came out.
Maybe it's a more of a generational thing, because I mean we're a
Yeah.
little obviously, I'm in my 40s. You're
Yeah.
older. We're more of a, to be honest, me on social media, I had to get off of it. I've recently this past week I got off of it. I'm not on it as much. I'm on it, but not. It's because sometimes it's emotionally draining. Like when you see all the shit that's going on in the world, like all the bad shit. There's great shit on there too. Funny shit, but all the nastiness people have on each other. At least for me, I'm like I got enough to deal with during the day to be looking at that. That's why for me I kind of backed off a little bit. There's some good shit on there, but at least for me. But like older generation now, I think people are finding comfort in social media because they don't have comfort anywhere else. Maybe in their families, they don't have that social connectivity, especially men. What's it they're talking about? 50% of men right now, they're not having sex. What do they call them? Incels. So that has a lot to do with it too. So of course they're gonna find comfort, in social media and looking at chicks with fucking Harley with a shirt on and shit, shit like that. I think it has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, and like the questions were like there were some that were image based, there were some that were like what was it, image based, there were some that were part of like comparison. Like the question asked you,
Mm-hmm.
how have you compared yourself with other people on social media? That's like four of the questions that have to do with comparison. And so you score these people.
Yeah.
And so like there's also limits in everything, but it shows something small on a population, but also taking consideration that are these are people that are like 20 at the most, because I interviewed. Also, here's
Mm.
another thing. Here's another variable that I interviewed people in the morning. Who's in the morning? All the young kids. So that's
Oh,
who's going to be giving me all the replies
yeah.
on how they feel about social media.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, these answers would have changed if I went to Walmart or if I went to another place. So that's also something to consider when
Right.
reading
Yeah.
when reading studies or reading any kind of survey. You need to know what these people are, where
Mm-hmm.
these people are trying to measure, and well, that's why it's important to read studies and to because the cool part about it is that studies are available for free everywhere to anyone. But who really knows how to dissect the information and actually read what's on those things? Because it's a bunch of words that are like, what is it, jargon? There's these words that are
Yeah.
specifically used like
Mm-hmm.
for a doctor or for someone in the biological field. There's these words that are thrown around so often that they're written like this. So unless you've been to school or unless you know about the subject, then you'll be able to begin to reading. If not, it's just a bunch of
You don't
words
know what they are.
and a bunch of
Yeah.
charts.
But I was gonna say, like you said, they're 20-year-olds. In that sense, social media is what they know. They're not big social people outside of social media. if that makes sense. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
their anxiety might come from one-on-one interactions or giving speeches or being in a large group. Because I mean, nowadays all the kids have phones, so that's all they grow up to. They don't go outside no more like they used to. So that might be, why they feel so comfortable in social media.
Yeah, like you said, like I say, the maybe the persona on there is a lot better than what the reality is. So a lot of people depend on that. Also, like on
Hmm.
let's say that you're talking on Facebook Messenger or something, you have the choice not to reply anymore, or you have the choice not to be social. Whereas if you're standing in
Yeah,
front of this person, you have to answer because if not, it's gonna be you have these social rules in your head that say that if you just stare at someone when they ask you something, or just take off and leave, then that's disrespectful. You shouldn't do that.
yeah. It's gonna
So
be awkward if you don't. It's gonna be
yeah, hmm
disrespectful. Yeah,
and a lot of
look,
people
you gotta
fear
look them in the eye,
awkwardness.
make eye contact.
A lot of people fear awkwardness. A lot of people can't
Yeah,
stand.
and then when you're typing on the go
No,
ahead.
just a lot of people can't stand talking about what's there. A lot of people just think that it's people rather like confrontations and stuff like that. People just rather just let it be rather than to actually address.
Especially when you want to, you're on a keyboard, behind, if you can't see a face behind the keyboard, like, you can write, there's no accountability for what you write. You can write whatever you want and there might not be consequences. I mean, there might be some, you type it to the wrong person and people find out, who you are. But other than that, you can type pretty much whatever you are and, you can get away with it for the most part.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then so over
look at
the
that
over the
quarterback. What, Shador? Is it Shador?
What
What's his
quarterback?
name? The quarterback. What's his name? Son, who just got drafted to the Browns.
Oh, Deion Sanders?
Yeah, Shador Sanders. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him. Everybody was criticizing him because he didn't get picked first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all that social media people just talking, like, he didn't get picked because, he didn't do good interviews. He didn't get picked because he's Deion Sanders' son. Like, we don't really know, but everybody gives their 2 cents in on social media and just bashes him,
Mm-hmm.
which, me personally, from watching football, watching his games, is he that great? Probably not. Is he good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's good. Can he be good in NFL? Yes, of course. But I mean, you know, what I think, I also don't go sharing it on social media because I think why would I do that, right? Why would I go under somebody's video and be like, oh, this guy's garbage, that's why he didn't get picked? Because
Mm-hmm.
this guy's fucking, he made it to the college and he made it to the NFL, so who the fuck am I to tell him anything? Like,
Because
but all
people are
these
miserable,
people,
bro.
yeah, they, like Daniel said, they go on social media and they say what they're going to say because it makes them feel good because their lives are shit,
Mm-hmm.
basically, because they aren't sitting in that position, to get drafted in
Yeah.
the NFL. So it happens a lot with celebrities and stuff, and yeah, I get why it is.
then I had to do
No.
another research paper for biology for eczema. So I just spent these two with the break with
Eczema.
just
Eczema.
fucking advancing my final projects. Yeah, eczema. I did it on eczema. It's for biology, and I just basically took it through the treatments because there's all kinds of treatments for it. And so I just went over the treatments, the
Mm-hmm.
three kind of treatments, the over the counter treatments, behind the prescription treatments, and lifestyle changes, which is the most important one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What about
So
nutrition when it comes to that? Did you read anything on that?
basically eating, it's basically an allergy. There's not really much of there wasn't anybody really talking about nutrition. I didn't read like it was
Mm.
just obviously sugars and just having a balanced diet. That's always part of having a healthy body. So I think it's more like a after you eat a healthy balanced meal. I don't know. There's not
Not
there's
correlation
not
between
eczema
nutrition and
uh
eczema. It's just something that.
as much as
Okay.
people just haven't talked about it as much. One of the ones that did shock me though was
Right.
beach baths for eczema, because there's
Beach
this
baths.
bacteria that
Mm-hmm.
lives on your skin that is related with eczema.
Yeah.
So to get it on a blank slate, you finally get that bacteria off that's causing all these reactions on your skin. And then you start putting lotion and
Mm-hmm.
start creating a barrier, and it'll go away.
A bleach bath though, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
say
You have
beach or
to
bleach?
bleach.
Bleach.
Oh, bleach.
Straight
I'm
up.
sorry. I thought you meant like a beach. You know,
Beach
take a bar of
Yeah.
bath.
soap in the fucking San Fela right
Not
there, and
obviously,
Malecón de
obviously
Volada.
not.
Oh, never mind.
Obviously not the fucking bathtub filled
Beach.
with
God
bleach,
damn.
but you get a little cap
No,
or
Jesus, bro.
just a little fucking the
A little
laundry
shot of it.
detergent cap of bleach, and then you bleach, and then you just give it a stir like a witch's pot. You give it a stir like
Oh,
a
Oh
witch's
wow.
pot,
oh,
and then you just hop in there or the area
The
that's
witch's brew. Or
affected.
what?
like I was said, social media. Like I've been overwhelmed, and I had a discussion with with Dom, with my wife about it, because she's pregnant, so she's worried about everything that's out there, everything you want to know about the baby, right? So she's sending me videos like nonstop, like, and she's on bed rest
Mhm.
now, so she's just at home looking up all these videos and just sending them. And like, I literally just told her like, "Can you stop?" Like, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, I know that's the way it comes off or something, but like,
Mhm.
I'm just tired of my phone going off all the time, even when I'm at work and having to look at these videos. And I'm like, just it's overwhelming, like all this information that she's trying to send me, And I'm
Mhm.
like, I sat down and I talked to her, and I'm like, look, at the end of the day, we're not gonna know everything. Nobody does. Even if you
Yeah.
research everything, you can. Little tricks or tips or how to wrap the baby in a blanket or this and that. And I'm like, just
Mhm.
let's just live it, Let's
Mhm.
let's do it. Let's figure it out. And if we need help as we go, then we can watch a video. And she's like,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, I'm just really excited. I get that, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it just became so overwhelming that I had to say something. And of course, I don't want to sound like an asshole at the end of the day, but I think social media can be overwhelming to me in that sense, when everybody
Mhm.
sends videos, when everybody can look everything up. Back in the day, you couldn't do that shit. You would ask your
Yeah.
mom, hey, how did you do this? How did you do that? You just go with the flow. But as the videos, you know, they can help you. I think it could also be a burden because they're so accessible that you're just sending information to these people. And like, to me, like, I just felt like I was gonna blow up, dude. Like, seriously, I was at work and I was like, that's it. Like, I don't want to know nothing no more.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Am I being a dick or
Oh, well,
is
if I can, let me go first, Danny, please. Um, First of all, you're not a dick at all. You're not an asshole. You just, I would have done the same thing. I'd be like, you know what, I would have said reacted the same way. It's just, it's too overwhelming. You can't control every single aspect of what's going to happen. You can be careful. You can take precautions, and do your research. But other than that, it's all you can do is leave it up to God and hope for the best. But be as prepared as possible. Obviously, not be prepared, as much as anyone can. But
yeah,
yeah, and I do agree, it is overwhelming. Sometimes, when I'm kind of off subject, when I'm training, we get on those, on those group chats and such, and you guys, they're having conversations, but I literally have to turn off notifications because they're just going off and off and off. I'm trying to do a set over here, and just so I get that. I mean, obviously, different subject, of course, but
yeah, no,
no, it's just too much. That's what social media. It's one of the bad things about it. They want us. I don't know. Okay, they want folks are living in fear all the time. Fear of this, fear of that happening. When they stop focusing on what's in front of them and focus at the time that, hey, if things happen, we'll take care of it when it happens. If not, then let's just go, do what we need to do. But yeah,
yeah,
it's you're totally in your right to do so and feel that way, bro. Definitely.
yeah. And I think the worst is when they share something that they didn't do the research on, just because
Right.
they
Yeah.
saw it on
Oh.
social media. So they'll
Oh
share
yeah.
something and then it'd be like, oh, doctors do this, this, this. And then I look at it, I look into it, and then it's not what they said. It's just, they're just fucking
Mhm.
trying to get likes. And there's a lot of those,
That
there's a
happens
lot
to
of,
me, bro. That happens to me a lot
mm,
on stuff. I'm training my wife. We're training partners and such. She's learning a lot. I'm learning a lot from her. I'm learning to be patient with her very much. But she gets hung up on this. All these social media gurus, workout gurus, or
yeah,
whatever the fuck you want to call them. They there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of negative, a lot of bad information out there. And she's sending me these workouts. All some of them are great, but some
yeah,
some of them I'm like, hey, work on your basics, basics,
mm,
basics. That's what you need first. Once you're not learning basics, then go off, and do that or add it to your repertoire. But and then things on nutrition and things like that. So you do have to be careful. I mean, so yeah, that goes a lot. Happens a lot too.
Yeah. So going to what Daniel was saying, like
Hmm.
social media to people now could be not so
Comforting, yeah,
anxiety, yeah,
right.
comforting, but to
Hmm.
me it's overwhelming. Like
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Daniel, what do you think? Do you think I
I
was a
see it
dick?
always from a no. Well, everybody reacts the way that they react, and I have my own reactions. But I mean, just there's a lot of fucking hormonal. There's a lot of hormonal changes going on, and there's a lot of feelings experienced. So sometimes
Mm.
it's
Oh,
it's
very true.
like it's not even about. It's not even about. It's just having something to think about. It's one of the probably one of the most powerful experiences that people go through. So there's a lot of
No.
changes going on and a lot of feelings that are going on. So sometimes it's just better to don't pay them too much mind and just understand that and then feel like, all right. But it's also good to set your boundaries about what you're
Hmm.
consuming. Because if you're gonna have this powerful moment in your life and you're consuming, it's like if I'm about to go onto a plane and I'm reading about all the times that a plane went wrong.
Plane
Yeah.
You
crashes and
know,
shit. I
the
mean, nah.
fucking
Yeah.
plane crash. In that sense, well, that's terrible. Why would you do that to yourself? But
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
in the sense of if you're trying to research on how you're trying to birth this child, or what way you should go, or what kind of who with what would you need a midwife? Where are you gonna get the midwife? Those are things that you have to
Hmm.
know. Where you're
Hmm.
gonna
Yeah.
have your baby, that's something you have to know. Yeah, how are you gonna have your baby? Are you gonna have a C-section? You can talk into your doctor. Look into C-sections. The the good things about C-sections, or whatever, if you want to get knowledgeable. But I
Yeah.
guess don't go. Just be careful on the fear mongering kind of news out there,
No.
because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, social media is made as a consumption, something to consume. So it's a product
Hmm.
now. So
Yeah.
they're gonna say whatever those videos are on there. It's because they're naturally attracting, and people and naturally attracted to negative things. So that's
Yeah.
also another aspect. But also just understand that there's a bunch of fucking feelings going on right now. It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a
Be,
lot of
be
feelings. So
Yeah.
empathetic. Yeah. Be empathetic.
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
it's a
you
lot.
have your boundaries. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. To
for
only
first
That,
help
too.
that
you,
So
kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's why I
Mhm.
talked to her about it. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
sat
Just talk
down
to
and I
her.
talked to her about it
yeah,
because
yeah,
I felt if I just kept letting it go, then I was eventually gonna blow over one day and just be like,
yeah,
No.
fuck,
yeah,
stop
Yeah.
sending me this shit. Like
yeah,
I didn't want, I didn't want it to get
yeah.
to that
Chingado.
point.
No puedo
There's
But
kinds
cagar and
of
shit.
but to my to my
there's kinds of
respect,
media though.
yeah,
There's a
to my
certain
Yeah.
kind
respect,
of.
um, it wasn't like educational videos like Daniel was talking about. Like we got all
No.
that planned
Yeah.
out already, whether it's going to be C-section and all that
Yeah.
stuff,
Uh
or the
huh.
hospital and all that for
Yeah.
sure. I'm all in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you don't want to be at the hospital and not know what she wants because you know the doctors are going to ask me questions and they want to do what they want to do, but she
Yeah.
wants what she wants.
But yeah,
So
exactly.
we got
Hmm.
all that squared out. It's the little stuff, the little knickknacks for the baby, or look at this backpack, or look at this method of putting them to sleep, or it's all that little
See, see,
stuff
see,
that that you're
see,
gonna
see,
learn
see.
as you go. And
Yeah, yeah.
like for example, something so simple as a dress that she wanted to wear at the hospital. And we talked about it 2 days ago, right? So I'm like, okay, she's
Dress.
like,
Huh?
I want to buy this dress on Amazon, 14.99. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you don't have a dress right here? And she's like, yeah, but this one's different. I can breastfeed in it. I'm like, okay, well then go for it. It is what it is. And then yesterday I'm at work and I started getting pictures and she's like, oh, look at this 2-pack at Costco for 10.99. I'm like, I thought we already talked about this. Like, why are you sending me more dresses? I said, get the Amazon one. And then she got, a little butthurt about it. But I'm like,
You know
I'm
what? Should they?
like, can we just
You know what?
make a
Should they do that?
decision, bro?
We
Go
trying to
ahead.
get a dining table for her, right? Every
Yeah.
time we have family going, we're talking shit about our fucking dining table because there's
Fucking,
a lack of one.
well, there
But
is none.
There is none.
sure, but we're getting there. We're getting there, little by little. But so we're gonna get one when we
Little
get
by
back.
little, gonna be been there for
But
like a year now.
not yet, not yet.
Little
Hey,
by
we had a little recession in the household. Not yet.
Okay,
But
okay. Fair enough.
so anyway, she's looking at freaking she's looking at tables or whatever, round ones, rectangular
Yeah.
ones, and we've talked about, okay, we're gonna go to Bob's, right? No, let's just go to Bob's. And then here, sure enough, I'm chilling, and she sends me more pictures. I thought we were gonna go to Bob's. Yeah, but check these out. Okay, so here I'm chilling. Here, 2 more pictures. I'm like, I thought we were going to Bob's. Yes, I know it. I know that, but just look at these. I'm like, so
just look at them. God damn it! I just want you to look at them. That's
yeah.
it.
So I just they're nice. I just give them a heart emoji. Okay.
Fucking
We're
hard
still going
That's
to
it.
Bob's,
That's all
right?
you gotta do.
You're
And you
still
gotta
going to
sometimes
Bob's.
you gotta play the game. You just gotta play the
That's all it
game,
is,
man.
Damn game, man.
Yeah,
It's a
but then
game.
again, there's situations where you can't play the game, right? You're at work or
No,
something.
obviously,
You're not
This
trying to
is
play the
sports.
game right now.
This is exactly
No.
the big war that they've been having
It's in
since
serio or
marriage,
what?
since
Serio.
marriage existed. Since the dawn of marriage, which was what, fucking 10,000 BC.
Fucking
10,000
E, bro. Got the C, bro.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. Just like
following shit.
I
Nice.
don't know. But like they should have sent me videos of fucking how to prepare for a fucking pregnant girl. I would have watched
Hey,
those.
that's for something.
There is no
That's
preparation,
that's
bro. They're
another
all
book.
different.
That's another book you should write. How to
I
really
know,
prepare.
right?
brother.
Jeez, I
For
should be
real.
doing fucking video clips of that shit because it's everything in there. Anything that comes.
So your Amazon card has about $10,000 in it right now. I remember my wife
don't
was
even
like,
know what it
I
has.
have about $3,000 in my Amazon card. And I was like, how do you even do that? I guess you can save it for later, and I guess it saves it for you, and it adds up. So when you go onto your, your
Damn,
card, it's all added up
3,000?
for you. I was like, oh my god, yeah. But she's not
shit.
gonna buy everything. She's just stuff that
Yeah, it's
that
just
she
Yeah.
likes. Yeah, they save it for
yeah,
later.
like on eBay, it's called watching.
the
But
watch.
it
This,
doesn't.
yeah,
It doesn't put it in your card. It just shows you like,
no.
Yeah.
remember you're watching this or something.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Okay.
Well, that's how Amazon gets you right there.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
happened?
That's how Amazon gets you right there, dude.
And then
With the
they
fucking-
do, man. And that free shipping, bro. Oh man, it's a must right there, bro. You can buy anything on Amazon now.
Yeah, you get like another package every day on my doorstep, and I'm like, "What's this? It's for my nails. What's this? It's just for my nails. It was $10.99. I'm like, it don't matter if it was
Right.
$10.99 or $1.99. It's $1.99 every day. It adds up.
So it adds, yeah. And if you're trying to get a shirt, and no, it's not in the budget. That's something like it. It's not in the budget. Oh, is that right? What about this stuff here? Oh, I don't. I need it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's the excuse.
Speaking of not in the budget, dude, the other day I got excited. Like this is something I got to work in myself too, because I don't spend crazy, but sometimes I get these urges,
Mhm.
or I'm in the zone, and then it just flies out of the radar.
Yeah.
Like I have that auction, whatnot on my phone. It's basically an
What is
auction
that?
site. It's an auction
Mhm.
site on your phone.
Okay.
It's an app that you can just buy all kinds of stuff. People, sell stuff on there. They have their own auctions in their living room or in their warehouses or whatever, in their shoe stores. And I just got excited, dude, and I bought like one basketball jersey, and then it turned into like a lawn chair, and then it turned into like
A lawn
five
chair?
it turned into like 5 basketball shorts, and then to 2 pairs of shoes. And then like after I'm done, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, why did you do this? And
Gotcha.
they're auctions.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't refund. You can't
No.
go to Walmart and take it back and be like, fuck. I regret this decision. So I just had to eat it, and it was a lot of money. And I just sat there and I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you got a kid in the way. What the fuck are you doing with yourself?
Mhm.
Why are you spending this money? And I talked to Dom about it, and she was like, "You did what?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Why the fuck are you buying lawn chairs? You didn't got no
yeah.
lawn. That's my first question. What
No,
is
not a
going on?
lawn chair. I said lawn chair. One of those like beach chairs, the foldable ones.
Oh, okay, just to relax on. Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to
Gotcha,
have
gotcha.
one, to sit outside, or when we go out
Mhm.
somewhere, I can take it with
Okay,
me.
okay.
And it was cheap, $22. It wasn't too expensive, but it all
That's a
added
steal.
up.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "You order Amazon every day." But I'm all
Oh.
like, I get it. I fucked up. I got excited.
Yeah.
I went too far. So now I punished myself and I haven't bought anything. But those demons, those shopping demons, dude, they got
What
into me.
jersey was it?
It was a Kobe jersey.
Oh, I want to get that. It's just too much.
Yeah, I got
Michael
these
Jordan?
shorts.
The
I got
Michael
these shorts.
Jordan. What'd you get? Oh, let me see. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Nice.
The
Very
basketball shorts, I got a couple colorways, Chicago
Okay.
Bulls one. Got excited.
Short
but-
set or what?
The next, the next big spend, dude. I really want to get that. I really want to get an e-bike so I could ride it to school every day,
Ooh.
and
Yeah, I
just so I
saw
can
that.
ride it around when I'm just
Well, pedal
chilling.
to the metal, bro. Get a little cardio in. See, you are messing around over here. Nah, that's cool, bro.
Well, they're
I really
both.
like it just so I
For
could,
long distances, right?
just so I could. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. But I want to
I
get
seen them.
it. I
They're
want
pretty
to get
fast
just
too. I
like
seen them.
a 50, at least a 50 one, 50 miles per hour. That's it. I don't want it to go too fast.
Damn. I don't want it to go too fast. 50 miles. It's a bike, bro.
God damn,
That's
50 miles an
fast.
hour? That's jeez.
I
On a
just want to
bike?
use it to go 25, but I just
Yeah,
want
that's
to
what
use it
I'm
to go 25.
Better
But
get that
if
heavy
I ever
duty
want to
helmet,
take
dog.
it, if I ever want to take it to go like let's say
This
to the
fool.
dirt or something, if I want to take it if I want to take it out and I don't want to use it in town,
Yeah.
and I do want to go fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can put the off-road tires on it or what?
Yeah.
They come with them, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, do
they
they?
come with them
Oh,
already.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, they come
some
with them.
Cool.
thick tires.
So
Oh, kind of sweet
shit.
setup.
So if we ever
Sweet
go
setup,
camping,
Iceman.
so if you ever go camping too, you could bring it around and you'll have something to move around the
Oh, yeah.
campground.
Hey, they haven't freaking emailed me from that damn campsite, bro. No respect. I'm telling
What
you, I sent them a
campsite?
message. Oh no, I sent them an email. No, I sent them a message on Messenger, but they didn't answer back. I was telling my wife and we just show up there, but they might run out of spots, so I don't know.
Show up where? What are you talking about?
If we could show
just
up
go to
anywhere, there's gonna be
just
camping spots. He wants to go camping.
San Felipe on May May 2nd.
Oh.
Not May.
There's gonna
May,
be camping spots regardless.
Yeah, it's like the
You
second
just
week of
gotta
May.
pull
Just
up.
to go for like a couple days, just to hang out.
Oh, so when you
Load
go
up.
down for your birthday, you're going to go to some
No, yeah, well, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go to the valley for my birthday, and then after that, go back home. I got an interview, and then we're thinking about a week or a couple weeks after that, just going camping for a couple days.
relive
Just
your
head out.
childhood or what?
Yeah, hell yeah, we love
Yeah,
the good old
we used
days,
to go-
bro.
Dude, I
we
fucking
used to go
love a good
camping all the
fucking
time.
camp, dude.
Remember?
Dude, we just went
Remember
this
back in the day?
weekend, fucking Wednesday, and we went camping the same group of friends. We went to Yosemite and we camped. It was fucking a blast. Camping is always a fucking blast, dude. It's a blast, especially if you
Oh, yeah,
if you don't like the aspect of having technology all around. I mean, some places do have it, but you go and you hang out. We went to Wednesday. We went to Coronado Beach. There's nobody there, so we popped out this fucking makeshift grill, dude. We were just fucking grilling there. I was just watching for the lifeguard, but the lifeguard didn't seem to give a shit. And I was just like looking to see
No.
if, because they were gonna shut us down or whatever. Nah, they let us go. We were doing it. We did our thing, sip brew, everything. We hung
Well,
out.
they
It
don't
was
let you
really cool.
turn on they don't let you turn on grills anymore.
I don't know, but I saw some
okay.
stuff on forums that there was like people saying nah, but
Oh,
as long as I think as long as you're
That's
like
cool.
I don't know
No, they're
what
cool
the
with it.
deal was. You could be like close to like some coals to the place where you dump the coals. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they
No,
I
that's
don't know. They didn't
people.
seem to complain.
It's always motherfuckers que la cagan and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was just trying to see
Yeah,
if there was
don't put up a
anybody
mess.
gonna kind of tell on us because we were just standing
Yeah.
there.
No, as long as you're cool,
No,
you're
but we
not
had
getting
our-
rowdy.
yeah.
They'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the only ones
Yeah.
there too. So what are they gonna say? You're bothering
Straight up.
You're bothering the sand, bro.
Hey, and then,
bothering
and
the
then I
other
was
sand,
just
bro.
like,
Huh.
I was like,
Smoking
hey,
out
dude,
the
then
fish.
we could use it. We could use it in their in su contra. Fucking, you're kicking out the Mexicans, bro. Come on, man. Just hanging out.
Can't do that right now. But camping's a good idea. I remember, I have
Great
tons of
idea.
memories of us as kids in San Felipe. As I have good memories, I also have bad memories. You remember that one time?
Oh, dude, did you shit in the
No, I didn't shit in the bucket though. Fucking no. So we were all together like camping in the little thing and fucking playing around, and I farted. I laid a big fart. And my mom's like, sigue echando perros, te vas a cagar, like fucking they always do. Sigue echando perros, and I fucking challenged it, dude, and I did another one, bam, and this one,
bro.
it didn't come out with a prize, but it was like, then the pressure came, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go to the bathroom, and
Ooh.
and you're camping, so the restroom is like all the way on the other side of the lot, So I was
Yeah.
like, damn, I took
prayer
off
doc-
running.
Okay.
I took off running, dude. I hit the jets. I was like, fucking knees to chest.
Ooh.
Bah, 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 bah.
Your chest,
And as soon as I-
laying or what? Stepping or what? There you go.
in the chest.
As soon as I get in there, I open the door and I just feel like the cerote come out. I'm like, oh, damn.
juicy bro or what?
Oh, no, it was a log.
Oh,
I was like, damn.
you were a little dehydrated, bro, and drink some water. Though.
A little bit. So
And Gatorade Zero and shit.
fuck it, dude. I fucking like I dropped the choni in the toilet, like I dropped the cerote out, like push it beep inside out, bloop. And then I flushed it and I fucking just wiped my ass. I didn't put my chonies back on. And I go back to the campsite all depressed, My mom's like, I told you.
In defeat, man. That's
In
the look of a
defeat.
fucking defeated child.
Oh, you see, you
Fuck
did
it.
shart.
No, I didn't shart. The whole cerote came out.
Yeah, but it was like,
Wait,
well, yeah.
Wait, what do you
shark-
mean?
He just
Oh, you
shitted
shit
his
yourself?
pants. He didn't
Yeah,
shart.
I
He
shit
just
himself.
shit
Okay.
himself.
Oh wow,
But he just yeah.
wow! I didn't know it was a fucking log, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, it was a log.
the whole
I didn't
thing,
take-
the whole
yeah.
thing just.
And of course, it's gonna leave a skid mark right on your chonies because it was, So then I took it back, and my mom was yelling at me like, "Fucking!" I mean, it's bad enough I shit myself, so I'm already fucking mad at myself, But she's like, I
Yeah.
told
So
you, te dije."
You left the
Yes.
log in the toilet.
Yeah, well, I flushed it.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
and then
log
she
in the
goes
toilet.
and goes and
At
tells
least you
the
didn't carry
fucking
it back
village.
like a
huh?
taco, huh?
Yeah, I
Hey,
just
it's
took my
like-
crispy underwears back.
Yeah.
It's like when in Friday when he goes with taking a shit and they're like, nah, don't take it, don't tell anybody I was taking a shit. Hey,
Yeah,
Smokey's
don't-
back here taking a shit.
Nah, Beto was.
I won't tell.
No,
I
my
won't tell
mom,
anybody else,
right
though.
there broadcasting.
Don't
it.
tell nobody else. Yeah, but the story's not finished yet. So I went back and my mom was yelling at me and I'm like, well, I got my underwear, Mom. So where do I put it? And she's like, put it in the bucket right there with the dirty clothes. I don't even think she said dirty clothes. I think she said put it in the bucket right there. So I put it in the first bucket. I saw water, I saw water and soap on the top. So I dropped it in the bucket. And then she I guess a couple seconds went by and she's like, cochino. I'm like, what? She's like, ¿por qué tiraste los calzones donde estaba lavando los trastes?
Bro. We fucking got E. coli from that shit.
And
Thanks, bro.
I'm like, what? You said it, throw it in the bucket. Ese no, el otro. And I was like, fuck, I fucked it up twice.
That's the bucket we're washing dishes with, huh? She was rinsing. She
Yeah.
was rinsing the water with. Or it
Yeah,
had
she was
soapy
rinsing.
water in it.
It had soap in it. She would put the dishes in there and scrub them, And
Oh, okay.
that's the camping life for you, huh? A little,
Well, not anymore.
Mhm.
If we plan, you know what I mean? We
fuck,
plan to
dude.
leave that out. But
At least
you
leave
gotta
a
be more
little-
specific next time.
you got a
Leave
couple
label.
shit stories, bro. So do I, but
Communications.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do got some shit stories. I don't know. My stomach's just not well. But
Yeah, mine too. I got a couple, but
That's
Just
how
gotta
I mean
say-
the other day, and it's like, if you're a different type of monster if you shit at the club and you go back to dancing.
I had
That's
some.
a
I'm sure
different
Ivan's
one.
done that. I think
I
Ivan's
did
done
no,
that.
no. It was after the club. Yeah,
said,
we were
nah,
already
nah.
down the club. We were fucking. What happened? Yeah, we were chilling at.
Hey, they had already turned on the lights. You're like, all right.
Yeah, no, but it was after. Remember, we went to that. What was the Roadhouse? Rock House. Remember
Oh,
the
in
Rock
Vegas.
House? Yeah, in Vegas. It was a
Yeah,
Rock
yeah,
House.
yeah,
And
yeah,
fucking, we all went out. All my Air Force boys, and fucking, we went to the Harris after. It was across the way. I guess one of my buddies, he had met an older lady. She was about 55. That
Mhm.
was like 24 and shit. And he's like, you spitting game, me and no game over here, of course, and fucking just waiting at the bar and shit. And I fucking my other homeboy too. He's talking to her friend, Lamba, my homeboy, and then fucking I was sitting at the bar and I fucking went to go, tried to fart and I was like, oh fuck, came out a little juicy. So I was like, fuck, what do I do? So I went to that bathroom in there and I fucking. Dude, it was kind of heavy loaded, but it didn't go through my jeans, it didn't hit the jeans,
damn.
jeans were still cool and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't penetrate, the seal and shit though, It's fucking. So I just took on my underwear, I went cleaning my ass up, and I just stuck the underwear right there, stuck behind the fucking toilet and shit.
You're that
bro,
guy,
I would
huh?
have gone
You're
home.
that guy.
I didn't
dude.
mean, hey, I
Yeah.
didn't want to do that, bro. I'm sorry. man.
You're that
He
guy.
wanted-
'cause-
hey, at least he didn't come out with a plan. Said, "I'm gonna shit myself tonight." What just happened,
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I left him
Yeah.
there, and nobody found out. Well, the guy cleaning the toilet found
Yeah.
out, but
Yeah, but it's not
Damn,
the first time
imagine
I've seen
telling-
underwear stashed behind the toilet at a public
No,
restroom.
yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
I always,
it's
see,
cute,
I always laugh. I always laugh, man.
I'm like, damn, bro, just throw it in the trash can, you nasty fuck.
Typically, you'll see
Well, no, obviously,
you'll see some underwear not too far along. If you see fucking if you see shit on the toilet seat, there's probably some chonies
Nah,
along
not a
somewhere.
toilet seat. Nah, I don't know. Come on, let's have some respect. If there's a trash can, obviously I'm gonna throw it in there, some courtesy. But obviously,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out of the stall with some chonies in my hand. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, what the fuck? What's going on here? So, hey,
Courtesy.
They'll understand. No, it is what it is, bro. Come on.
I can't incriminate myself that easily. I mean, come on, man.
At the end
Some
of the
kind
day, it's a
discretion.
restroom. It's the
Yeah,
restroom.
it's
It's
a
not
restroom.
fucking
You gotta
trash,
handle your
man.
emergencies, you know what I mean? But
Damn.
That's funny though, because I've shit in the club before, and
see,
that's
I thought I was the only one. Yeah, I don't feel as bad now. Thanks, bro.
But you know what? When you're
I can
older,
hold, man. I
you
can
gotta
hold it,
pick your
dude.
scenarios, right? Like when you're older, you
Yeah.
gotta pick your scenarios. Like
You gotta
nowadays,
make sure they have
like,
a facilities.
yeah, I only go out
course.
if there's a
Yeah.
facility like halfway there or at the location, you know. 'Cause
Well,
it's- but anyways, it's in Mexico too, bro. The clubs in Mexico are the worst places to take a shit, bro. Fuck, they got no doors and shit. Like, so I think it was M2. It was M2, and I just fucking got the bubble guts, bro, on the dance floor. So I went to the restroom with the fellas, and of course, there's no fucking door. But yeah, you still have the guy right there fucking handing out gum and cigarettes and shit. Like, fucking buy a door, bro. Fucking fire this guy and buy a door.
All kinds of amenities and shit.
I'm like, why is this guy even here? You know, fuck. So, anyways, I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Trejo or Eric. I made them like stand guard, so they're fucking standing at the door like with their back towards it while I'm taking a shit.
nasty,
Fucking
bro.
smelling the
Stand
funk.
guard.
And I'm like, I can hear like people try to walk in there, and he's like, "Hey, takupao, takupao."
Trying to do bumps and shit.
Yeah, they think I'm trying to do bumps or something, but
I
not.
know,
He's
bro.
guarding
What
my
the
shit.
fuck?
But I mean, I did go back and enjoy the dance floor a little bit more. But you know, it is what it is. You gotta go.
Nah,
you
you know
gotta
what? That you said it was at M2.
go. Yeah.
I think they had at some point they had doors because I remember I took a shit there and but the doors were low though, so everybody that pretty much would look over and they could see you taking a shit.
Yeah,
And you
at
still
some
had no
point,
privacy. The door was
there
like,
was, like-
they were super low. Yeah,
yeah, I remember there was like two stalls, and one had a high door, and one had a lip, so it was like a short door.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
people
yeah.
could just stand on top.
Yeah,
and
you
look
can
at
see
and
you,
shit.
yeah. See you
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
a
but I
shit.
think-
Like, hi.
Man, I think they probably took
Oh,
them off because all the coke fiends and shit. So they eventually took them off, you know.
But nah,
Yeah.
they were still, fucking the good old days, huh? You go in the bathroom, right here's fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, there was
Actually,
one
most-
time that I was. Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
Actually, most now have the doors.
Oh, in Mex?
Before they were cracking down on the doors, now they have them everywhere because they're supplying it there.
Oh yeah,
Privacy.
you have to get
By
from
all
there.
means, they're like, have your session, man.
That's right.
Oh, here I thought it was because of privacy.
Nah, hell no. No, they just don't want you buying it anywhere else. They'll do it.
Yeah.
They'll give it to you there, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
glad you let you do it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, that's not fair. Well, one time, dude, I almost, I don't even know how I made it because, I mean, at this point, I should have just gone somewhere else. But I think it was like Goyo's birthday or something, and we were in Max, and they were going to like little shit bars, you know?
Yeah.
And those are the worst because they would be missed, like no fucking toilet seat, no door, nothing.
Never.
like that,
Okay,
you know?
those never
Or-
have. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Or wouldn't even have
No
toilet
toilet
paper
seat.
and shit. Like, what the fuck am I
Yeah,
going to do
that-
here, you know?
La taberna and
No
shit, or what?
toilet seat.
Yeah,
it was
yeah, shit like
anti
that.
shit. Anti
Yeah, it
shit,
was like,
bro. They
it's
didn't, just
like,
didn't
don't
want
bring
you to shit
in
there.
here. Yeah.
So we have enough problems with this fucking. This can only handle fucking water.
It was so bad. I was like sweating, and I was like, "Bro, I gotta get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I gotta go find a restroom, bro." And I just went like across the street to Applebee's. You know how they had that Applebee's? And I went to
Yeah.
fucking. I went to pull the door, and it was closed. Like they had just closed it, and they were like cleaning up in there. I'm like, "Fuck, dude." I'm like,
Oh, in La
"Nah."
Justo
So-
Sierra and shit.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
So then I fucking just ran to the first taxi I saw, and I'm like, "Go to the border, bro." Like I'm going home.
What the fuck?
And he
Mission,
drove to
bro.
Yeah, no, he drove to the. I was like, I'm telling you, bro, I was sweating and holding it, and I fucking went under, got another taxi, got home, and my mom's like, "Ya regresaste?" I'm like, "Sí, ma, sí, ma, sí, ma." I run into the door, and I made it though, dude. I made it, but
Jesus
good thing I
Christ.
went because it was a Hershey squirts. It would have been
It's a
bad.
strong,
in
it's
my
a
pants.
strong sphincter there, bro.
Yeah, I
Damn,
know.
bro. And then you have just clarity after, huh? You could just
Right.
think clearly.
Oh yeah,
Did you go
I
back?
felt. No, hell no, I didn't go back.
But I go back. Damn, bro. Nah. Probably could.
Did you
Trying to go
go?
memes after
No.
that, bro.
And my
Looking
mom
for
was
trouble
like,
if you want to go back after
¿Qué
that.
pasó?
Yep.
Yeah, my mom was like, ¿Qué pasó? I'm like, no, anda cagando, dude. I was like, she's like, ¿Y eso? I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I didn't go back then. I was like, no, that's too far to go back, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself now. So I just say I wasn't feeling good, and I think that's what I told everybody.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling good.
What, dude?
Boy
I
was
would have
probably the
just
only one.
shat. I would have just shat.
Why-
Just called it.
Why is it shameful to take a shit? You know what I mean?
I've done
I
the
know.
fucking. I've had to do the frog pose. Just call it a day.
Fuck,
Just
bro.
if no, they have no fucking toilet. Well, fuck it. And I've
We had to do
managed to
that in,
just keep it in the air.
We had to do that at a house in Golfo. Your dad took us one time.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Remember, Beto?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, there's an abandoned house. You had to fucking, and there was already people that had taken shit in there, so you had to watch your step, or else you were stepping on human shit. So we had to find a little spot, and your dad was like, "Just go take a shit," and we're looking around, like, "Where?"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit, and they're like, "That fucking
Actually,
house right there." Okay.
I was reminiscing with my. I was reminiscing the other day, and I was like, "Nah, you know what, dude?" One time we were going to Guadalajara, and I remember cracking up so bad because, my grandma had to take a shit, and we were in the middle of the fucking woods. And we were in the middle of the fucking woods, and my dad had taken us in the van. So it was my cousins, my grandma, my aunt, me, and my dad
Family
driving.
truckster.
And so yeah. And so we were in there in the Aerostar, and then sorry about that. And we stopped in the middle of the forest, and she took a shit, and she wiped herself with fucking leaves, dude. And I just couldn't believe
Oh
it.
my
You know,
God.
it was real primitive, dude. And I was just like
Yeah.
laughing, bro. I was cracking up.
OG
Actually,
style. There you go.
I had to stop because my dad was getting this. Ya cállense, cabrones. I don't know.
You guys are laughing and shit. Or like,
And I was like, took a shit in the forest.
damn,
With
bro.
fucking leaves. I was like, what is this?
Keeping it fucking apocalypto
yeah,
in that
dude.
bitch, bro.
Some
I was
poison
like,
ivy
just
in there.
couldn't.
Shot
It
for the
didn't fit in my
Jaguars, bro.
head. That was the first time I had seen that, so I was like cracking
It
up.
didn't make
Jaguares and shit, huh? You're fucking
No,
your
it
nana
didn't
killed a
make-
jaguar, huh, bro? Kept its skull and shit, huh? Trophy and shit.
Came out
bro.
with a jaguar skull and a
I
fucking
know,
leaf.
hey, lunch and shit. Here you go. You might need a new coat.
Hey man, we just got back in. No one fucking. We just dipped.
She just did fucking rash ass all the way home and shit.
Hopefully everything was clean, thorough. You know, I don't know, but you know,
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
I got a lot of
that
shit
was a
stories.
funny
but
trip, man.
I know. Man.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Life is literally shit sometimes, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
But like you
Good,
said,
definitely.
why is it so shameful if it's something so normal, right? Everyone
Right,
does
like
it.
you know, like people like when people like disappear to take a
See-
shit and they come back, they're like, "Hey, you taking a shit?"
We were-
Funny, like,
We were okay.
like,
What do you
yeah,
guys think about? I was watching an episode of South Park, and the episode was about a Japanese toilet, and
Wow.
you know
Oh,
how
I
the
saw that
Japanese
one.
toilet squirts in your butt, and
Oh,
it
yeah,
cleans
yeah, yeah.
you. So what do you think about that? I asked Beto, he said, "Nah." I was like, "Dude, what? I fucking want
It's a
my ass
little-
squeaky clean." It makes me feel weird after if I don't have wipies, and I prefer.
That's
I
what's the
think that
wipes are for, yeah.
yeah, but still, like I think
um,
it's more eco friendly, man. You get that squeaky
Eco-friendly.
clean thing.
No, it's definitely
Would
definitely
you?
fresher.
A bidet. It's called, no? Is that what it's called?
No, yeah, I had to install one in
bidet.
an apartment. This tenant, she was like, "Hey, can you install this for me?" Her fucking house is dirty, but she wanted a bidet. I didn't get that aspect of it.
Yo.
Anyway, yeah.
It's funny, Daniel, you said that because I asked my barber. I asked him because he just went to Japan. And I'm like, "Hey, do they all have those toilets that squirt a little water in your booty hole?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "They have it in the hotel. They have it like in public." And I'm like, "Hey, did you use it in public? Did you moan a little bit when the water?
Did you moan? Jesus.
He's like, nah. He's like, I didn't shit in public. He's like, just when I was in the hotel, I would use it. But well, you didn't like.
But
you
did
didn't
you
want to
moan?
fuck it. Yeah, but did you moan?
So did you moan? You didn't answer the question.
You didn't want people to hear you, the little tinkle in your bar, or what? He's like, no, man, I just don't shit in
No.
public, you know.
No, No, but is it like a
This fool.
like a strong stream, or is it like so you get it wet and you like pat it
It has
down
to
with toilet
be-
paper,
it has to
or
be a
how?
No,
strong
I
stream.
think some of them
No, it's
can
just
be
like a.
you could pick it up. You could pick it up. You
Mhm.
could pick up the
You
speed and
pick
shit
it
and adjust it. Because you don't
Mm.
want. I mean, you might not want it to squirt really, really good.
Yeah, you don't want to
Like
pressure
too
wash your
really
ass.
good.
You know what I mean?
Because
Is it
then,
really
Nah.
you'll
good?
sit down and you'll get wet. I always think about
Yeah,
that. What if you
yeah.
get wet? But I'm sure it just comes out like a little bit, like a little fountain. But also you could like
Yeah.
to get
Little
those places.
fountain.
Because I imagine,
That
ain't-
if you're like when you're brushing your teeth, you know, the plaque, some of the plaque you got to brush it off. So you need that extra power on the
Fuck,
stream.
you little extra power. You got plaque in your ass. God damn. Get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that little spray ain't gonna clean it out though. You need a full on spray like
Nah,
pressure
but it's
wash
just
it.
to help. I think it's just to get it wet so you can wipe it down with a toilet paper, like to make it actually cleaner.
Well, no, because they don't have toilet paper. It's either one or the
Oh,
other.
they don't?
No,
There's no paper. There's just the stream.
it's a stream and then it blows it like blow dryer.
No, it has to be
Yeah,
some kind of paper to There's
No.
gonna be I can't.
Some kind of abrasive material to
Yeah,
take off.
scrub. You gotta scrub a little. People got different assholes,
telling you,
different degrees of assholes. Some are powdier than others. Some
See,
I don't know.
I would go. I would install one of
I'm
my
not an
house.
asshole specialist.
But I mean, I would have to have the adjustable stream so I could.
I wouldn't go over your house, dude.
What?
I would have-
Dude, you wouldn't be allowed with your dirty ass.
I would have one. I would have one with like paper towels on the side, though. So you can pat your ass down, so you make sure
I'm
it's
gonna
nice.
say,
and-
hey, your bidet's
with
plugged up
wipes.
in there, Daniel.
I
we
would
throwing
be
the
like,
wipers
don't
in the
fucking lie,
fucking-
dude.
We're
Crusty
throwing
butt.
wipers in the toilet, bro. God damn it.
Crusty butt.
It happens, man. All right, Daniel, we got any? What's hot in the streets today?
Ooh, in the street.
Iran's missile fuel just got bombed. You know how last week I was saying that they had weapons of mass destruction?
I thought we weren't gonna be depressing ones no more, huh?
Well, I just
Started
want
out
to
with
follow up,
depressing,
man.
bro.
I just want to follow up. Yeah, it's always good to know what's going on.
All
So
right,
you know who
say
to
that-
vote for, what to do.
All right, so say that again, Daniel. Iran's what?
Iran had a storage for fuel, for
Yeah.
missile fuel, and they just got blown up.
He got bombed,
All
or
of
they
it.
blew it up.
No, they say
Got
they're
bombed.
saying that people are saying that they might have done it to set off a war, but other people say, I don't know, they say that it's an enemy psyop. You know what I mean? You know what an enemy psyop is? Start
It's the
putting
Gulf of Tonkin affair.
information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here it goes with the like they say incidents like, oh, they did this, or
Yeah.
they did it themselves just to incite,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
give them a reason to
Yeah,
fight.
dude. It says a massive explosion at Iran's biggest port killed over 40 and injured 1,200 people. While an official hasn't been determined, government officials suggested chemicals stored at the port caused the blast. International
So they're
media
saying-
outlets reported that the explosion was possibly linked to the storage of missile fuel. Reports that Iran's defense ministry denied as enemy psyops.
So they're
Pedo esa
saying
madre,
they did it themselves.
It's like the Gulf of Tonkin incident, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to start a war to fucking get more money, bro. I'm telling you. Oh,
What was
what
the-
about this? I heard about this theory. We're talking about that a lot of Ireland and England, United Kingdom, they're having a lot of issues with fucking people that are seeking asylum from the war-torn countries and shit, Syria and all that fucking. What they're saying that that's the government's bringing them in order, fucking to conscript them in order to fight the war against Iran. Who knows if that's fucking true, but that's what the word in
so
the
give an
street.
asylum to fight for us. Hey, well,
No,
you gotta
'cause-
give some. You gotta
Yeah.
give something to get something, no?
Well, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Iran is fucking weird. Sorry, bro. I'm in the rabbit hole
It's
there.
fucking weird. Daniel, what
Ooh,
else you got?
fears of a New England serial killer. Fears of serial killer in New England are growing after 8 people were found dead in recent weeks. The deceased, mostly women, have been found in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island this month and last. The most recent potential victim was discovered in Tuesday near a bike path in Massachusetts, bro.
You know
Where's
what?
that AI guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
You
They
know,
can't
my
test it in America.
my
In
wife was actually
America.
asking me about she's asking me about serial killers. There's more. I guess there seemed to be more back in like Ted Bundy. What
Yeah.
was this guy? Ed Gein, all those. I guess it
Yeah,
happened
yeah, yeah.
before. She's like, where are all the serial killers now? I was like, they're out there, but I was thinking about it. It's actually a good question. Are they hiding better? You think, or because
No, they
actually
might be
there's more.
going to. They
Go
can
ahead.
be going to third world countries, or people in
Hmm.
third world countries are still they're still massive murderers. Also, a lot of them
Yeah.
become hitmen too.
Mm.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I think
like
they're
Because
just getting caught. They're getting caught faster.
you think they're getting
yeah,
caught
and
fast? Because they're
also
They're getting
like
still
caught
you just
faster,
don't
so
do it.
you're not able to claim that serial killer thing. After
right.
your first body or your second body, boom, they got so much on you. They catch you. Back then, it was a free for all, bro.
Oh,
Everybody, there was nothing. There was no
Yeah.
hey,
DNA. There was no like. They're still catching them till this day from like 20 years ago with DNA.
Hmm.
People that are finally
Hmm.
like getting DNA that matches the system. Maybe a guy that's 80 or 90 and goes to the hospital now, and they get his DNA, they put it in the
Yeah.
system, and then they're like, oh shit, wait, that motherfucker is linked to fucking something from 40 years ago.
Yeah. I seen
And
stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, so that I think it's way better now than it was back then. I just think they can't get away with it as much as they used to. I mean, eventually there will be somebody like this guy. I mean, he has like 8 bodies on him already, but
Yeah.
what's the time span on that, Daniel? Did they give you a time span? Like, has it been like in the
uh,
last year and last 3 months?
Several
recent
years.
weeks.
Recent,
Well,
see
just
what I
recent
mean?
weeks. God
Recent
Recent weeks.
weeks.
damn.
Connecticut.
Going on a
It
rampage,
was
huh?
Massachusetts,
Yeah,
Connecticut, and Rhode Island this month and last.
yeah. So this guy's
But
probably
like I
doing like.
said, this guy,
Go
this
ahead.
like I said, sometimes they don't. This is their first time killing in that way, or maybe this has happened before. Because I'm
Hmm.
sure that they kill one time and then there's like a big break. Like probably like maybe sometimes people go 10 years, 5 years without killing anybody else before they do kill
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
Because then they
But maybe he's
figure out,
just
okay, I could get away with it.
mhm.
Nobody suspected me. So
Maybe he
yeah.
just
No,
lost it. He's just going on his fucking spree now, but he's careful so he can keep on doing it. I don't know, that's what it sounds like. Because I
that's
mean, the short
yeah.
span, from what you're talking about.
That could happen too.
Time.
I remember seeing one
Hmm.
where, but it wasn't in the same location. This dude was like traveling, and as he
Hmm.
was traveling, he was killing people like in the outskirts, like houses that he would see on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Like he would stop, and then he would go, and he would like sneak in a window, and he would kill them, and then he would steal their car, go to another
Yeah.
fucking city, small outskirts again, and then kill somebody, and then keep going. Like, I mean, that's hard to catch. This dude's constantly moving, right? You got the
Yeah.
police. Police are piling evidence in one state when this dude's already in another state. So it's like, fuck.
and state to
Right.
state communication is a little bit difficult. There's some
Yeah,
barriers.
Yeah.
it's terrible.
But then they have their patterns too, huh? Which is weird. Sometimes they change their
Yeah,
patterns. They're on a whole different level. But she was
yeah,
asking me because she was asking, you think there's still people out there like that? I said, there sure
yes. They
is.
don't disappear.
But
They don't
there sure
disappear.
is, you know what I mean? Because we're talking about if people are born that way, you know what I mean? Or if if they're a factor of their environment. So I was like, it's kind of
Oh,
both, I guess it could be.
yeah,
But
I
it's
yeah.
want to hear
both.
Danny's
It
input on this. You think it's
Yeah, yeah. What do you
both?
think then?
You think
yeah.
it's both?
Well, okay.
I
It's
think
your
they're
it's your
raised that way.
okay. I think that it's a personality trait, and then that trait
Hmm.
gets activated. So you might carry it,
Mm.
but you might not become a serial killer. You might become a CEO that fucking fires people and doesn't give a fuck. You might
Hmm.
become a CEO that makes decisions that pollutes a river. You might be a
Mm.
manager that
Gotcha.
doesn't care and who just uses people for work. You might be a business owner.
Hmm.
Not everybody
Okay.
murders, but when that thing in you that drove you to murder, you find out that you don't care and then you find out to get a liking out of it, that's
Yeah.
another story. But
Yeah.
those kinds of to be a serial killer, you have to have a certain trait. And if you carry
Hmm.
that trait, then because think about it, there used to be people, we used to live in groups, and there used to be people dedicated to murdering people, whether you were in the
Mm.
army, but you have to have that gene. So that gene gets passed onto other people. So you have kids. And so if your great grandfather was dedicated to murdering, let's say he murdered a lot of people, or let's say he was um was a mercenary or something, well, that trait gets
Hmm.
passed on. Even then,
Mm.
like, it just doesn't disappear. Now, fast
Mm.
forward, you're living in modern times. You're still gonna have those people who are able to kill and feel no remorse, but
Mm.
it could be
So
set off. It's different
so
the way it gets set off.
do you feel that that's the reason military people have what do they call it,
PTSD.
that PTSD, uh because they don't have that gene in their body that they kill and they feel remorse about it and
Well,
it fucks them
maybe
up
not.
mentally. And then you have other guys that kill that are in the military that probably have that gene and they just fucking stay in the military because that's how they get off of it, like wow.
Yeah, and they get they maybe it's not a certain gene, but it's a certain trait in there because
Yeah,
we don't know,
that's what I
But
meant,
yeah,
Trey.
they do call it the murder. They do call it the murder trait because it's been linked. Because we were talking about this in my psychology. Um there's evolutionary psychology, and they
Yeah.
talk about the murder gene. And so, how do you become a murderer? Well, there's people who have the murder gene, but it doesn't get expressed. Just like there's people who are able to play basketball, but they just never played basketball their entire life. So if they don't play basketball,
Mm-hmm.
they never know that they're kind of good at shooting the hoop into it.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
Not
know,
exposed to it. Yeah.
so they're not. Yeah, they weren't. That gene wasn't expressed. So, like you said, yeah, some people just might go through their life and know that they can kill, or and also it just also it could turn into it's not only the trait that you carry, but it's also let's say that you were abused for a lot of your life. That's might how
Yeah.
you be expressed your abuse if you want to cause that harm to someone else. And so
Mm-hmm.
you become a sadist, because you get off on seeing people suffer. There's
Suffer
people like there's sadists, there's sadists
because you
out there.
suffered. Okay.
Yeah, but there's sadists. Some sadists do it to animals to get away with it a lot.
Mm.
So they don't do it to humans because they can't, because it's more liability.
Okay. Well,
Hey, bro,
that's how
I was
Dahmer started. No? Animals. Go ahead.
I was watching a podcast. Sean Ryan, he was interviewing. They call him the sheriff of Baghdad. He was an Army Special Forces, and he said that when every time that he didn't have problem with his men never had problem with PTSD for the most part, because every time they accomplished a mission or something happened, like he would reassure him like, hey, like yeah, it's okay, like it's gonna be all right. You did your job, and
Yeah,
but I guess other units didn't get that. So what was happening? They didn't.
yeah,
I guess the soldiers and Marines, they didn't know if they were doing a good job, or they didn't get that reassurance, so they didn't know where to put that
yes.
energy. You know what I mean?
A social aspect, a social aspect to army, and you like being a proper leader, and to
Mm-hmm.
not letting your like being a basically a like your group psychologist, and telling them like,
Mm-hmm.
what happened here is not your fault, and we did the
Mm-hmm.
best that we could, and you knew that when you signed that paper that this might have been something that was going to happen. So we're all here together, and if you ever
Yeah.
need anything, that proper. But some people just go home and they don't see it, that
Yeah.
some leaders don't see it that way. Some
Mm-hmm.
leaders will just be like, pues, a la verga,
Yeah,
we'll go
shitty
on my
vida.
own life. And
And
yeah, it's shitty leaders.
Mm-hmm.
that's in general leadership anywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You reassure. You know, there's not a lot of reassurance out there that you're doing a good job when you are.
Hmm.
They just give you
But
more
there's
work, right?
Yeah.
That's their thing. They're like, "Oh, you're so fucking good. We're gonna give you more work, but we're not gonna just acknowledge the fact that you're doing your job. You're doing the right thing. Keep it going."
we'd rather
That's what
acknowledge
happened
you
to me.
when you're doing something bad. and
Yeah,
And that's
and
exactly.
also that ties in a lot with people's parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are
Hmm.
trying to become parents, or are parents themselves, is that's what parents do, so they do it somewhere else, because that's how they got, maybe that's where they were treated with their mom or dad, because a lot
Yeah,
of parents love to tell you when you're doing something bad. I mean, why do you think sometimes kids throw tantrums? Because that's the only way you get talked to, is when you get do something bad. So
that's
that's a
Mm-hmm.
right.
pattern that people develop. And so, like, it's like, well, if that's where the saying comes out, if you're not doing good, then people aren't talking, or
Hmm.
wherever it goes, But that, it
Yeah,
shouldn't fucking. That's shouldn't be a way of thinking, because you need to be encouraging to others. It's a good trait to
Mm-hmm.
have, to be encouraging and let people know when they're doing a good job, because
yeah.
Oh yeah.
they might think that they're the shittiest person ever. And I've talked to people who think they're shitty people, and I'm like, dude, you don't know what shitty is, man. I've seen some shitty
Yeah.
people. You're not shitty, man.
Hmm.
You just think
Mm-hmm.
you are, you know?
Yep.
That's crazy. People don't get complimented enough, huh? Not even
Yeah.
hey, you're doing good, you look good, like hey,
Yeah.
nice smile or shit like that. People just
Hey, I've
all
made
that
it.
a lot of
No.
yeah.
I
But
made
sometimes
it a
when you do, they
habit.
feel weird about it. Sorry,
Yeah,
Danny.
I made it a habit at the gym to whenever I see someone that is there all the time, I make it a habit to like say, "Hey, dude, you're looking good, man," and that's it. And that's it.
Yeah,
And
no
then,
hurt.
dude, to
No homo.
fucking see the fucking yeah, no homo, whatever. And then
No,
fucking
whatever.
I see their demeanor change and they become
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot cooler. And then it's like their
yeah,
fucking mind gets blown. It seems like because they thought
Yeah.
everything except someone's gonna come with a compliment, dude. And it changes a lot in your environment when you do give out compliments, even though nobody gives out fucking compliments for shit.
yeah.
But it
For
seems like
sure.
it lightens the mood. There's a book I'm reading, and he says, "Well, I feel like my life is really negative." Well, he says, "Well, figure out what you've been putting out. If you feel like your life has been negative, watch out to what you've been putting out to everybody else, because
Mm-hmm.
chances are that's what you're putting out to yourself. So if you start
Yeah,
to pay attention to what you're putting out, then you realize, damn, I'm kind of being like I haven't been saying much positive things." So then you'll be
Yeah.
like, all right. So then you change it, and then it feels lighter. You know, people around you are less hostile because they're like,
yeah.
it's kind of like saying like in a chivalry way, like, hey, mean no harm. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to do
Mm-hmm.
things myself around here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else, Danny? Or we're good?
Oh, food additive studies. Wow, science, they finally said that food additives in virtually all processed foods carry more risk than previously thought.
You see, RFK is gonna take him out.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna start taking him out. You see
Say
that?
these sweeteners are and combinations of dyes are found to our combinations led to higher type 2 diabetes.
So my thing is, why does it take so long
And
to
so
find these results?
check it out. Check it out. Hold on. Additives are staples in ultra processed foods, which account for a majority of the calories in American diets and roughly 70% of the food in the grocery stores. That's why it's hard, because mostly 70%. That means that all these companies that are in charge of 70% of the food that is coming out, that means that they're wrong. And that means that they have to waste money to stop putting, and they have to find money to find other ingredients.
To
And they
rechange
have
it.
to
Which will
find
cost
studies
more.
that
Yeah.
prove, yeah, that prove. And so who controls all these companies? There's only a select few that control all of the grocery stores, all of the grocery food that's in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
So they're all the same companies. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
No.
that's why, that because then they wouldn't make
Yeah.
money and they'd have to change it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
it's all
sometimes I
greed
feel
and
like they
shit.
see us as, yeah, see us
Of
as
guinea
like
pigs.
rats.
So what if like you say RFK does change that? What are these you think these companies are gonna fight back and do something, or they're just gonna be like, okay, let's fucking change it? It's not that simple, right?
I think if the right amount of people get paid, it'll change. If not,
Mm-hmm.
it won't, because the system is, all the sugar companies, they fucking pretty much own the USDA and all that.
Coca-Cola,
Coca-Cola, they own the fucking,
Coca-Cola,
the government agencies
Coca-Cola,
that are supposed to
Nestle.
regulate, all the food and all the shit that we eat. So if they're in cahoots together, they don't give a fuck about our health. They
I
just want us
think I
consuming more
think
sugar. Yeah.
Mm.
as long
Go
as
ahead.
lobbying continues to exist, I
Mm-hmm.
think there's still gonna be these shady practices, because you could fucking wine and dine these people. They literally wine and dine politicians so that they could vote
Yeah.
for things for them to stay in power, the companies. And if you're a company, if you're a multi-million-dollar company, well, you could fucking le compra su hotel.
Su
You tell them,
voto,
hey
yeah.
man, pass this through Congress, and I got you with a vacation home over here. I won't say
Yeah.
that I paid you for it, but I got you with a home. I can't give you money, but I could give you a home. I could give you, let's say, a car, or I could give you something, a form of property somewhere, and we'll be squared out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as
Not to
long
get
as
off
there's
topic,
lobbying.
but it's kind of like the pharmaceutical companies, right? When they come in to the doctor's office with the little briefcase and they're like, "Hey, this new product," you know,
Mm-hmm. You bring
when they
snacks for
ask you,
everybody. You
Well,
keep
they're
them.
in
yeah, they
cahoots
bring
with them,
snacks for
bro.
everybody. They bring coffee and they, you
Yeah.
know, pay them under the
And,
table or whatever. Same shit.
The
Different
pharmaceutical
item.
companies are in cahoots with the sugar companies and all those
and
companies,
the
because
doctors.
because they want us to be sick, so we go to them and they want to give us a pill. They don't want to prescribe us fucking exercise and good nutrition and eating well. They want to fucking give us a pill. Which, who gives a pill? The pharmaceuticals. It's all a circle of getting money, pretty much. Whether you believe it or not, I mean, it's up to you. But that's pretty much what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just didn't go on long enough like this to where now we see the pattern, because patterns have to happen.
You see the effects. See the people that are, there's a bunch of overweight people. I mean, sad to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. That's it, Daniel. We're good. All right. Thank you guys for coming out once again. It was a good episode.
You.
Daniel, love you. Yvonne, love you.
I love you too.
Love you too. See you guys
See
soon.
everyone later.
Celebrate the birthday. Love you.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.
Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all. But who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some